Hey, folks, there's more help you can shake a kayak at on the web. Go to the web in the how-to zone at techtv.com/help. Here you're going to find lots of tips, articles, tricks to get you out of your tech blues, whatever they might be. And Leo?
You gotta be the only guy I know who checks a kayak on an airplane. When you get on an airplane,
yes.
you bring your kayak with you.
No, I got it out there.
Oh, you bought a kayak? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It was a gift? It was a birthday gift?
No, Terry's good to me, but he's not that good to me.
It's cool. I want to watch you kayak, I guess, someday.
That's a scary thought. Get to the interview. This is the good stuff.
I know. What am I wasting time with you for? We see you every day. Our next guest is somebody, just by virtue of the fact that the studio is filled with fans from Tech TV who are here to see him. He is obviously somebody that screensavers are interested in. His books, his Sandman comics, have been cornerstone reading for many of you and the Screensavers staff. I'm really thrilled to have the creator of the Sandman, Neil Gaiman, in here with us. It's great to meet you, Neil.
Thank you, Leo.
You're a Brit.
I am, yes.
But you don't live in Britain.
I don't. I've been living out here for about 9 years now.
Now, you could, because you're a writer, live anywhere in the world. You have selected, as your home, Minneapolis?
Well, they told me it had really mild winters.
Bad choice.
Being English, I believe.
Why Minneapolis?
Really boring. My wife is American, and we thought it would be nice for the kids to get to meet that side of the family.
It's actually a great town.
I told my wife that if she could find me an Addams Family house.
Really? Do you have an Addams Family house?
I have an Addams Family house.
You mean like with the spires and the kind of rococo fence out front?
Exactly, and I don't have the rococo fence.
Are you crazy and kooky? You're really kind of spooky?
No, I'm really dull.
You're altogether ooky?
I have no imagination. I'm just...
I hear you have great Halloween parties, though.
Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes, of course.
It's Guy Fawkes,
the British.
because I'm English. So
yeah, right.
Huge bonfires.
What is that, November?
November the 5th.
The 5th. Do you really have bonfires?
I really do, enormous.
Do you burn
ones.
a guy?
Yep.
The Guy Fawkes in effigy that's traditionally burned in Britain.
We still, remember he was the only person ever to nearly blow up the Houses of Parliament, and the British just love a good loser. He came so close.
Have you always had a taste for the macabre?
Oh, I think so.
Is that kind of?
I'm the only person I know that whenever I go to New York, I pay my little visit to the coolest art gallery in New York.
What's that?
The coolest art gallery in New York.
Yeah.
This is a secret.
Okay. We're not telling anyone. Just you and me.
If you go to New York Public Library on 5th and 40th, that big one with the giant lions, okay, and you go up to the 3rd floor, and you follow the signs to the men's toilet.
I'm not liking where we're going here. Yeah?
You will get to the Charles Addams Gallery, and it's about 15 feet long, and it's just 2 blank walls, and it's literally on the way to the men's toilet.
The great New Yorker
And it's hung with these Charles Addams originals, so you actually get to see them.
You're right.
And every time I'm in New York, I sneak down to the best art gallery in New York.
Let's take a break. Neil Gaiman is our guest. We're going to talk about his new book, which actually is some interesting stuff for internet users in it. It's American Gods, it's called. And now on the top 10 New York Times bestseller list. You just got that news today. Congratulations.
20 minutes ago.
Yay! We'll talk more with Neil right after this. Welcome back to the Screensavers. Leo Laporte here. Coming up in this half hour, we're going to talk to the man who started it all, Marty Cooper. This is the greatest show we've ever done. I hope you're taping this thing. The father of the cell phone, the guy who invented the cell phone, is like here. Is he a saint or is he a sinner? We'll see what he thinks. Plus, we're going to show you a great Windows tip for adding your own logo to your system properties box. Before the break, we introduced you to the legendary author of DC's Sandman comics, Neil Gaiman. It's so great to have you here, Neil. Sandman is really amazing.
Thank you.
Now, I might be wrong because I'm not a big comic, fan. I've read the Sandman. Was it a breakthrough for comics? It seems to me that it was a first comic really aimed at adults with like real.
I think there have been comics aimed at adults for the 100 years that there have been comics.
So.
I think we did some very, very cool things that nobody had done, and we got a whole audience of people who just didn't read comics.
Me.
Well, a lot of people who didn't think comics were for them.
Yeah, it was graphic novel kind of.
And women. I mean, people like, basically it was you and women.
Me and women. Okay, well, that's good company. I'll take it.
Never read comics before.
Interesting. Why did women like them?
I think because they have real stories, and they weren't about, giant adolescent superheroes hitting each other through walls and then saying, now you've made me really angry.
Yeah. Well, did you start with comics or did you start with prose?
I did. I dabbled in both. I mean, one of the first books I ever did was, before I wrote any comics, was a book called Don't Panic. about the late, great Douglas Adams.
No kidding. It was kind of his biography?
It was a kind of combination biography, companion, that kind of thing.
Another guy we loved very much.
And I miss a lot. Very much.
Yeah.
Then I did a novel with Terry Pratchett called Good Omens,
which I loved. And I love Terry Pratchett, too. Oh, wow.
I mean, I think Good Omens is quite probably the funniest novel ever written about the end of the world and how we're all going to die.
And the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And the other 4, Terry Gilliam is now meant to be filming it. So
no.
Yes.
That'll be wonderful.
Isn't that perfect?
Is that your first movie?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I did the English script for Princess Mononoke last year.
Oh, that was the anime movie. Yeah, yeah. People loved it. I didn't see it, but people loved that.
Oh, it's marvelous.
So you're basically a cult. Whatever it is you do is a cult, right?
Pretty
Small,
much.
devoted, maniacal, much like the screensaver.
Exactly. That's why I'm
Do you mind that? Do you want to be more mainstream? I mean,
I'm not sure what mainstream is. And as I say, 20 minutes before I came on the air, I got a cell phone call from the president of HarperCollins saying, I think I should let you know I have an advanced thing of the New York Times list in front of me, and you're in there at number 10 with American Gods.
This is an interesting story. I haven't read it yet, but I was talking to Annalisa, your friend here, who works at Tech TV. She says it's about gods coming to America, the old gods, the Norse gods, the Greek gods. Nobody believes them anymore. They're losing their power, but there's a new kind of god replacing them.
We've got the gods of the internet, the gods of the cell phone, the gods of the freeways.
Because that's what we believe in
and
now.
Media, the things that people sacrifice their time to, the things they believe in.
Isn't that interesting?
And it was really fun trying to get these wonderful old, sort of roadside attraction kind of gods.
Right.
They're grifting, they're driving cabs, they're hooking. And then we've got these new gods who are riding around in limos. And but they're all rather nervous too, because they know that we eat the future very, very fast here.
That's right. Faster than any culture ever.
The future of 1990 is a long time ago now.
That's right.
And so they're nervous too.
Now you got a computer in your lap. Do you write on a computer? Is that, would you be writing a novel on that?
Actually, no. What I'm writing right now is I'm sitting doing my blogger entry for the American Gods Journal.
No.
Yes.
Tell me about that. You blog.
I blog.
Tell me about your blog. Blog is a log on the web where you update it. It's like a diary, online diary.
Online journal.
But public can read it. There's your blog right there on the screen.
My God, it's my blog.
It's my blog.
It's famous. Yes, I started it in February because I really wanted to take people through backstage the experience of bringing a book out.
You had just finished the book when you started.
I handed in the finished manuscript, and I said, great, now we're going to do this blog. We went live with AmericanGods.com. We've now moved over to NeilGaiman.com. And I wrote these, I just write about what was going on. I think too many people believe that what actually happens is an author writes the words, the end, at the end of the manuscript, puts it in an envelope, it goes off to the publisher, and 6 months later the editor phones up and says, dear boy, you're on the bestseller list. And that was all that happened. That's all the work the author did. And of course, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So I took them through copy editing and why authors are not allowed to very often know who their copy editor is.
Because you'll call them up at home
in the middle of the night. We call them up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So that comma belongs right there.
Exactly.
I put it there for a reason.
So I put that in, and I put the whole thing about galley proofs in, and separating words, and then the process of getting blurbs. You send out novels. Who gives you blurbs?
You've got Stephen King on here, Peter Straub. You've got Chris Carter of X-Files fan, William Gibson.
Teller of Penn and Teller, which I think is as cool as you can get when he actually speaks and writes something.
He says American Gods is sexy, thrilling, dark, funny, and poetic. But he says that about everything. So
not about Penn.
Not about Penn. You're right. I mean, it's very cool to read about the process. But the funny thing about blogs is you start really writing about stuff that's so personal and inside. Does it feel kind of funny to be exposing all this stuff online?
It was really, it didn't feel funny at all when I started, because there were 500 people.
Nobody was reading it.
Nobody was reading it. We didn't tell anybody. There was no advertising, there was no promotion. It was just me doing my little blog. And then, one day you look up and you've got 150,000 people looking over your shoulder.
CNN is talking about it.
They did an article this morning on CNN.com.
And they call it what a new way.
You guys could find it.
We could find it. Let's see CNN.com. See if Megan, could you pull up CNN.com and see if we can find the article about Neil's blog? What did they say about it?
Well, they were talking about it as basically a marketing tool. It was this brilliant. They were going over the brilliant way. The American Gods have become this huge success because of.
Do you think this helped sell the book? No.
I don't know if it helped sell the book. What it did do was get an awful lot of people who knew that the book, or didn't know, who like my fiction, who like me
We're your fans. We want to see you and talk to you and read your stuff intimately, more intimately.
And what it did was it let those people know the book was coming out.
Yeah.
Which meant that first week of publication, all of the fans who might have bought it over a period of 2 or 3 months marched out, bought the book, put it on the New York Times list. So that really worked.
What is this you're using?
This is my Libretto L1, which I bought.
It's so tiny.
Well, I'm on the road now for 6 weeks.
Right, big tour.
Signing books across America, fly across to England, do it again, fly up to Canada, do it again. And I thought, I want something that is tiny. It weighs nothing. It's got an almost full-size keyboard. I got it.
Would you write a novel on that, or?
I certainly could write a novel on that. I've actually given up.
Longhand.
I was going to say, I've given up writing fiction on the whole and first draft on the computer. I've gone over to these things.
And
it's a fountain pen.
I love fountain pens, but I don't know if I'd want to write a book in a fountain pen.
Because I love the disparity and the division between a first and second draft.
Does it help your prose, you think?
Well, if you write on a computer, it's only ever first draft.
Yeah.
It's a first draft that gets better. It's a rolling, improving first draft. Right. What I like about writing something by hand and then having to type it in is it makes me go, okay, that really was the first draft. Now I can fix it.
Neil, it's such a pleasure. I could spend 3 hours talking with you. It is, what can I say? Thank you for your great work, for entertaining us, for amusing us, for terrifying us. It's really fun, and maybe the next time we're in Minneapolis, we can come say hi and go to a party. Thank you, Neil Gaiman.
Really good. Thank you.
Really a pleasure. Did you find the website? Let's see it. This is the CNN website where they say Neil Gaiman is a marketing genius for his blog. They discovered blogs, ladies and gentlemen, on CNN. If you want to read about Neil Gaiman and technology, check out thescreensavers.com and buy his book, American Gods. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome.
Now, Patrick, don't go anywhere. Stay here. Stay right there. Don't move.
No.
Haven't they told you the rules of TV? Patrick is going to... Here, I'm going to leave. Patrick is going to tell you what's coming up. What's next, Patrick?
Leo, I didn't know we actually paid attention to the rules on this show.
No, we don't.
You know, up next, add more custom graphics on your Windows PC when the Screensavers continues. You can move now, Neil.